I'd like to demonstrate today how we use spacer tools. We love making floating necklaces here at Avoca, and in the directions for the ones I have in kits, I talk about measuring and using a ruler to measure 3/4 of an inch or whatever length you want between your beads. Using a ruler is really common. Plenty of people do it, but what we find is these tools help us make these necklaces a lot faster. These kits come with spacing tools that are 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and a 1/2 inch. You can use them individually or together. Let me show you how we use them. So I pulled up my 3/4 inch and I've started making this floating necklace. So what I want is 3/4 of an inch between each bead. So I've just finished knotting against one bead and I want to make my next knot 3/4 of an inch past it. So I take my spacer tool and I feed it onto my needle and pull my silk all the way through until I get the spacer tool right up next to the bead. So then I go ahead and tie my next knot. So there's lots of different ways to knot. I like using tweezers, but you can knot however it works best for you. So I'm tying my next knot right next to that edge of the spacer tool. And what you'll see is that knot is smaller than the inside of the tube. So I'm able to slide the tube off right over that knot. So I take my spacer tool off, really important, or you'll end up with a spacer tool as part of your piece, which I don't think you're going to want. And then I go ahead and put on my next bead. So I feed my bead on to my silk, and you can see it goes right up next to that knot. So it's right next to the knot, which is 3/4 of an inch. So I've got it perfectly spaced and how I want it to look. Then I can go ahead and do my next knot. And we've got our floating necklace continuing to be 3/4 of an inch apart. So that is how you use a spacer tool.